In the previous module, we looked at some of the terminology associated with debt securities. One of the distinctions we made was between short-term securities and long-term securities. A short-term security is one which has a maturity of 1 year or less, and a long-term security is one that has more than 1 year to maturity. We'll now focus on the specific features of short and long-term debt securities. Short-term securities do not normally pay interest. This means that there is only one cash flow received from owning a short-term debt security. Instead of receiving interest, all you receive is the face value on maturity, and therefore they will be sold at a discount to the face value to reflect the time value of money. Because of this, they are usually referred to as discount securities. Again, the term discount securities applies when there's only one cash flow, the face value on maturity, and therefore you pay a discounted amount when you purchase the security. Short-term securities are typically used by firms and governments to meet day-to-day, short-term and seasonal funding requirements. For example, the federal government, even if it is in surplus, has a lot of variation over the course of the year as to when it receives money and when it has to pay out money, and therefore it'll use short-term securities in order to smooth the flow of cash over the course of the year. Some examples of short-term debt securities: promissory notes, as the name implies, are a promise to repay the amount that's been borrowed. They are essentially IOUs. They are issued by firms to borrow money on a short-term basis, and when they're issued by firms, they're referred to as commercial paper. Promissory notes or commercial paper are unsecured. Therefore, there is no guarantee or no collateral that you can enforce if you're not repaid. Because they are unsecured, only large firms with an excellent credit rating or debt rating are able to issue commercial paper. Another example of a short-term debt security is a bank bill. It's similar to commercial paper. It's still a way for firms to borrow money on a short-term basis. But the difference between a promissory note and a bank bill is that the repayment of the debt is guaranteed by a bank, and the borrower will pay a fee to the bank in order to get that guarantee, which makes it easier for them to then use the bank bills to borrow money. A further example is a Treasury Note. It's essentially a promissory note, but instead of being issued by a firm, it's issued by the Australian government. Treasury notes are referred to as Treasury bills in the United States, but we don't use the term Treasury bills in Australia.